And we're live. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. How are you? Can you hear me? Please somebody tell me if the sound is good. Okay, perfect. Hi Escardi. Hi Cubs216. How are you, Prana Sharma? How are you, Meta Happy, Barbara Loving, Kathy L? How is everyone? Dana Chic, oh my god, you made it. Nice to see you. Barbara Loving, how are you? Tien Ha, it's nice to see you guys. Now, last week, I couldn't get to all the questions. So what I will try to do, maybe in the week, I'll create a different video. Like, it won't be live, it will just be me answering some of the questions that were put in the comment section. So today, yeah, we're gonna jump right in and see how it goes. Again, I have just about 1 hour, maybe less. And in fact, just give me a minute. Let me make sure. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. One minute, I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, you guys can still hear me good. Hi Joti, hi Jots S, hi SK9166, hi JV, Autumn Flower, hi Kathy L, hi Deborah Chambers. Nice to see you guys. How is everyone? I won't be able to say hi to everybody individually, but I can't see nothing. I'm waiting. Are you live? Huh. Okay. People can't see me? That's odd. Are you guys having any problems? Can everybody see me? Please type yes. Hi Priya Sharma. Hi True Elemental ASMR. Hi Sneha. Hi Singing Bird. Okay. Huh. Alright, Kathy L says she sees me. Seth Harvell says refresh the page. Monique M, good to see you too. Hey Solda, thank you for doing the live stream. Okay, alright. Hi, my name is John Kironde. I'm the author of Conscious Creation Volume 1, and this is our second live stream. And I'm hoping to answer questions for about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes because of my battery. And yeah, if you've been reading Neville, if you've been studying and practicing and meditating, I'm getting good feedback from the meditation instructions that I gave last week. So take note of that. Oh, by the way, I would like to thank Vonda Mackenzie. She transcribed last week's live stream. Okay, she transcribed it, and she put it up on a Facebook page. If you look in the comment section from last week, you should be able to see the link. What I'll do, I'll get the transcripts, put it on my website, and link it in last week's video and today's video as well, later on, if I remember, because I'm very, very busy with one-on-one sessions. Okay, Yay. Okay. I'll start with Escadi. What would happen if we affirmed I am God 24/7? If you did that, you would find yourself in this mood. There's this mood. There's a mood where you are indifferent about everything. You feel no desire. You feel a compulsion to help people. You'll find yourself altruistic. Okay. You'll find yourself altruistic. You'll find yourself downloading lots and lots of wisdom, and you'll be under compulsion to express that wisdom. So people would show up in your life, okay, to receive that wisdom from you. Yeah? And you'll find it easier to access, for instance, particular experiences in the fourth dimension because of that mood. There are particular experiences that are only experienced in the I am state, in the I am God state. The only truth is I am God. Every single person on the planet, everything walking is God. Now, people don't have the strength to affirm it because they think they're blaspheming. Okay? You're not. The scriptures tell you, be still and know that I am God. How do you know it if you don't affirm it? You have to affirm it and see what that knowledge would create for you. What's the most effective way to revise? Sensory impressions. Sensory impressions. You meditate, create this mood, and then you experience using the senses: sight, sound, touch. My favorite is touch. You experience using touch that you try to... What I do is that I find excuses to use touch. So if I'm trying to manifest something intangible, I'll try to... I could be manifesting a software or something, and I'll still try to use a gadget, some kind of iPad, such that I have something to touch and I see that the software is on there. So the idea is try to use touch as much as possible. Reason being, when you walk into a... Let's say you're walking on the street and you're outside the store, all right? You're outside the store and you see this dress through the window. You'll see it and say, wow, what a lovely dress, yeah? You probably won't buy it. You then walk into the store, walk into the shop, and the guy at the counter says, we have this dress, da da da. You'll see it and you'll say it's still nice, but you won't buy it. Then he brings the dress over. When he brings the dress over, suddenly you can touch the fabric. It becomes real only when you touch it. There's something that we are programmed to feel that if I touch something, it's real. Try to interact with the person, with the thing, with the money, with whatever you're trying to manifest. As long as you are currently experiencing that it's material outside of you, that which you touch should come to you. Everything. I have touched, in imagination, I've touched $30,000 worth of equipment, and every single one of them comes to me, whether I have the money or not. Cavs 216, how to manifest marriage with a specific person. What implies you're currently married? What implies it? Implies, never is very specific. In The Law and the Promise, there's a story. In his book, Neville Goddard's book, The Law and the Promise, there is a story, a specific partner manifestation story. This lady would feel a ring. She didn't put a physical ring there. She would feel a ring on her finger, okay? And then she would feel that I am Mrs. So-and-so. Assumption of the state, sensory impression, touch. If the ring is on your finger, touch. then she would affirm and feel the joy. She would celebrate within herself that she is Mrs. So-and-so. That's one scene that could imply it. Another scene could be you reading your name and his name on a marriage certificate. It could be you attending your own wedding. It could be you attending your honeymoon in consciousness. That which you create within yourself. Your brain can't tell the difference between physical reality and imaginary reality. I'll try to get to as many questions as possible, but again, I have just 1 hour. By the way, yesterday I was in a session with someone, and before the session, she was supposed to communicate at 9 o'clock, and she pushed it to 9:30, and she was panicking for some reason. And the reason she was panicking is because she had lost these concert tickets. I told her, just come for the session. But she was pushing it forward because she was running through the trash. Actually, I'll read for you the story. She says, I was supposed to get an envelope in the mail from my mother on Thursday with concert tickets I ordered online. On Thursday afternoon, I checked the mail and there was no envelope, even though the US Postal Service website had indicated via the tracking number that they had been delivered. Sometimes the tracking is incorrect, so I checked again Saturday, but still no envelope. I checked the post office as well as my apartment office, and there was still no sign of it. The post office had said they were delivered to my box. I was so anxious and even dug through my trash to see if the envelope had gotten mixed in with mail advertisements I usually throw away. I was running out of time because I had a session with John, but I knew it was all the same and I could just manifest them back, but it was much easier said in theory than actually applying it. Still, I used my imaginary hearing to hear the lady at my apartment office telling me over the phone that she found the envelope to give myself the sense of relief in the end result. I did it again, but this time I told my mother on the phone with a tone of relief in my voice that I found the envelope with the tickets. John only encouraged me to do nothing but just show up for our session. Again, I intellectually knew the envelope was something we could manifest, but at the same time my mind was telling me it could have been dropped and blown away by the wind or stolen. In the core of my being, despite my anxiousness and frustration, I still knew somehow that I would be at the concert. I explained to John that I used my imaginary hearing to tell my mother over the phone that I found the tickets and that I feel so much better. I even said it that way aloud to him. After our session, I was heading out and saw the mailman, so I checked the box one more time, imagining the envelope right inside and feeling the relief of finding it as I ran up to the mailbox. There was no envelope. I started to walk up to the mailman on the other side of the complex, and as I approached him, I imagined him handing me the envelope, and I felt relief. Sadly, he did not have it and had said the GPS tracking system had tracked the barcode of the envelope to be in the mailbox. However, that was sadly not the case. I went back to my apartment to call the ticket company to report the tickets as lost and ask for a reprint. I was placed on hold before speaking to a representative, and while on hold, the mailman knocked on my door with my envelope my mother had sent in his hand. In just an hour, we had manifested the tickets right into my hand. I spoke with each of my parents, telling them with a tone of relief in my voice that I had the tickets. All is well. Okay. Now let me tell you my side of the story, because that's what happened when she, that's what she experienced within an hour or two. I told her to come for the session because I knew that if you're looking for something and you can't find it, you simply touch it. You experience you touching it. So what I did is, because we were on Skype together, I visualized that she was holding the tickets and saying, yeah, I found them. After the session, we hung up the call, and literally an hour, she sends me that message. They've been delivered. She thought they were lost and they cost $165. So, she wanted to get them back. You see what I mean? So yeah, manifesting is real, guys. Everything you want to experience on earth, you need to shift out of looking for them on the outside. The entire drama of life is happening inside the individual. Inside. It doesn't seem like it because you seem to be trapped in a body. You're not even trapped in a body. You can change perspective at will. You can experience yourself looking at the earth from up there, above. You can experience different perspectives. You're not stuck in the body at all. Oh, questions. Oh God. Okay. Meta Happy, I'm very appreciative for this channel and these weekly live streams. I'll try to make them weekly, but I can't guarantee that I can make it every single Sunday. But if I do make it weekly, it would still be this time, 9 p.m. East African time, which is GMT +3. Okay. Tienha, I would love if you'd explain more about the passing thoughts in the previous Q&A. You said you'd expand more. The passing thoughts. Thoughts are coming from states. I tried to explain it last time. Yeah. Now, not every thought that goes through your mind will manifest. Some won't. They just won't. Okay? You can even have this experience where the thoughts seem to be so scary at times. And yet, once you use the principles in, I hope you guys have read Out of This World. Neville's third book, Out of This World. It has technique. It has that grounding, that information that you need to experience, to practice. You understand that everything is predetermined, and if everything is predetermined, and right now I'm thinking something in this moment, why is that thought in real time necessarily? What if I called forth a previous state of being, and this thought is a result of that? If you are in meditation and the thoughts, if you try to meditate and you try to slow down and the thoughts seem to be getting louder, ignore them. Do you know how you ignore thoughts? You literally take your consciousness, because human beings think they're stuck in the head. You're not stuck in the head. In fact, you can do meditations where you move around your own body. You're not stuck in the head at all. But you get out of the head into the heart, because that's where feeling is. That's where impresses are. When you drop in consciousness, in other words, just put your attention at the heart when you're meditating. Okay? When you're there, even if you affirm, if you do like I aming, when you affirm the word I am, something will happen in the heart. If you meditate on the word love, something will happen in the heart. You can make yourself feel anything you want. You can feel joy, you can feel success, you can feel relief. You could be very, very stressed about something that seems like you can't change it. And yet, you simply move into the heart and meditate on the exact opposite mood. And when you do that, because the other thoughts cannot swim in this stream, the passing thoughts will either slow down or vanish completely. When you think meditation, don't think 10 minutes, don't think 20 minutes. Create time, lots of it. Create a lot of time for your creator, to be with your creator. I'm thinking hours. Hours, maybe days. I can meditate for days non-stop, just sustaining one mood, just to see how the world on the outside would react. I hope I answered your question, but I have to move on. Autumn Sunflower, thanks for doing this. Deborah Chambers, Full House. I appreciate you guys so much. SK9166, how to erase the negative manifestation that has been done, how often to do it, and how exactly to revise. If you are at the effect of something that has gone wrong, you do revision, but revision of the cause. I'll try to explain. Okay. I didn't see any of this coming, by the way. I didn't. When I set out to study Neville, I never thought I would be here doing live streams several years down the road. It's unbelievable what life has in store for you. Okay, so I'm at the effect of the state I activated when I studied Neville and experienced activations within myself and experienced third eye activations and the promise, ascension. All of it happened within a very short period of time. I experienced ascension at age 29. Okay, and after that, everything just escalated. I found myself teaching. Okay, I didn't see it coming because I thought I was just solving my own issues. Anyway, I'm at the effects of something I caused. Okay, now the period of time between seed time and harvest, because Neville calls it seed time and harvest. Okay, we're always waiting for manifestations. You're just chilling in here. Whenever you're waiting for a manifestation, you're in between seed time and harvest. And you know what's odd? After the manifestation happens, this period of time and whatever you went through can no longer be experienced. It was always psychological. You know what I mean? It was always psychological. So, if you want to change something that happened in the past, try to change it from the level of cause. If you are at the effect of, let's say, I wish you had been a bit more specific because now I have to come up with, examples. But I've been able to change, for instance, my friend went for an interview several years ago. She went for an interview and the interview was at a bank. Okay? There were like 100 people interviewed and she actually failed. Completely failed. She failed the aptitude tests and all of that stuff. Alright? Now, I was teaching her a bit of Neville at the time. And I told her, do not accept it. Okay? Do not accept it. She's at the effect. She has no job. Okay? She has no job. Let me take off these words. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So she has no job and she's experiencing, she doesn't have any money going on and everything. And of course, because she has no job, she's worried. When you have no job, it seems hard to get a job. And yet, when somebody already has a job, it's easier to get another job. It's really, the Bible puts it this way: the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. They're simply saying that the law works that way. You must be in the state itself. You must be in the state itself, in consciousness, before the contents of that state, before you can experience. You can never be wealthy, for instance, unless you either have hung out with wealthy people for a while and they've started rubbing off on you. Okay? Either way, you've activated the state. Or you yourself assume you are wealthy, and then the contents of that state will be shown to you. So anyway, what she did, what I told her to do, is go back to the interview, okay, in consciousness, and experience. You have to experience, because I think, no, it was a phone call. They called her and told her you've been rejected. Revise the phone call. You hear bad news and you react in an imaginary world, in a virtual reality, and you react and you panic. No, don't do that. Instead, say, okay, I'm at the effect of something I was afraid of in the past. Maybe my insecurities have manifested in some form. See what I mean? So you go back to the phone call. Sometimes it helps to actually use a phone. You put it on your ear and you listen attentively to, hey, congratulations, you've passed the interview. Okay, you'll start ABCD. She did that. She listened attentively to the same person who told her that she's been rejected, that she failed the interview. Now, when you do these revisions, they don't necessarily manifest within, you could, 3 weeks later, nothing, you could find yourself, you're still waiting for the job. Okay? You have to have courage, you have to have patience. These things work. And even when you're doing activations, even when you're listening to Neville talking about the promise, if you accept those fourth dimensional visions, which are very important, by the way, please listen to the promise, especially ascension. Those visuals, those feelings will still have an appointed hour even on the fourth dimension. Okay? So the appointed hour thing is not just for this level, it's also for that level. What I have noticed is that if you play around with cause, the appointed hour seems to be incorporated because you've already experienced the effect. So the appointed hour tends to be incorporated within the period because you'll have to move into the past. So what she did is she revised the phone call, and 6 months later, it took 6 months. It didn't happen immediately. She revised it. I revised it as well. I revised her. I listened to her telling me that she got the job. Now, you know what happened? Revision of the past leads to repeal. So what happened is, and this never happens in any country, especially mine. This never happens. What happened is the same guy called her 6 months later, 6 months after the interview, and told her, literally offered her the job. She still works at that bank today. That was several years ago, 4, maybe 5 years ago. She's been promoted, manager this, manager that. This is somebody who failed the interview. This means your success is not dependent on how many degrees you have. It's not. It is dependent on your assumption of the feeling of your wish fulfilled. There are people who have master's degrees and they're on the streets. They're beggars on the streets. We need to know this information. We need to be able to use it wisely, use it lovingly for yourself and everybody else. Everything can be revised. It takes faith, it will take time, it will take energy. But if you're patient, if you've read Neville's stories, you'll notice that some people, like Neville's brother, manifested a building. Victor. They were broke. Neville's family, they were really, really broke. And Neville's brother used to walk past this building every single day for 2 years. For 2 years, he would visualize the Goddard family name on the marquee of the building. Yeah? So he did that and faithfully did it every single day for 2 years. And he manifested the building without using money. He didn't have any money. Somebody came out of the blue and bought the building for him. Those are the rewards for faith. Neville puts it this way. Faith does not give faith does not give reality to unseen things. Faith is loyalty to an unseen reality. You acknowledge that the reality is there, it does exist, and then you use this feeling of knowing, this conviction, this joy within yourself to celebrate that you already have it. If you do, the state has been activated. However long it takes, you'll still get your manifestation, because it was real at the time when you imagined it. This is a shadow level. Things eventually manifest, and people think that, oh, okay, so I manifested, I don't know, anything, something solid, a phone, and that's the reality. No, all the phones, all these Apple phones could be destroyed, and somebody would be able to reconstruct them from imagination, because they are permanently etched into the eternal structure of the universe. I have to move. Okay, John, skin looks smooth as silk. Thank you, Deborah. Marta says, yes, I can hear you. Sounds good. I'm really behind, so SK9166, I love the background. Thank you. Pia Cool, very happy to see you again. MH, hey John, it's Pav. How can I experience more mystical visions? Meditate more. Okay, meditate more. And when you are meditating, like if you've really cleared your mind and everything, try to raise your eyes, your physical eyes, and stare at the third eye as often as possible. Okay? When you're sleeping, it seems a bit hard, but you can do it. If you do ayaming, the eyes might raise themselves. There's something about that. When you meditate on the word I am, you'll feel as though your consciousness is filling up, and when it gets to the eyes, behind the eyelids, the eyes will raise, and then they'll point at the third eye. But even if they don't, when you're meditating, you simply raise your eyes yourself and focus on the third eye as often as possible. If nothing happens, you visualize a little hole, okay? A little hole. And you just visualize that you're looking, it's like looking through a keyhole. You visualize that you're looking through. And the more you do it, you'll activate a particular state where you have access to the contents on the other side. So one day, you will be sleeping. It will still be a manifestation, by the way. Even mystical experiences can be manifestations. It will be a manifestation. So one day, you'll find yourself looking through like it will open up and you'll see images. Like you could see several images flashing by as though somebody's moving slides around. Or you could just be taken to one spot, one image, and you'll feel yourself move under compulsion through the hall to the other side. When you get there, you'll have a body. It's a shocker. You'll have a body. You'll examine the body and you'll even see the hair on the skin. You'll have a body as solid as here. But you'll be in a completely different world and it will look just like this. You'll find people there, and you won't necessarily be in the year 2018. No, I found myself in the year 1959, and there are people there working hard trying to make a living. Okay, you ask someone, which year is it? And they tell you the date, and you're freaked. You don't show you don't react too much because, oh my God, Neville is very clear. Eternity exists. Everything. We, right now in 2018, are merely in a section of time. The year 3000 exists. The 18th century exists. There are people there. Someone once asked me if I could, if you could attend Neville's lectures right now. Yes! You probably can. You set the intention and you will be able to be taken there. You visualize you're already there. You feel like you're seated inside Neville's lecture and you will be able to go back into the 40s. It's time travel, but it's done in the fourth dimension where there is no time. Anything is possible. If you want to have more mystical experiences, Pav, you focus on the third eye, and you also read, well, lots of Neville, and there's so many mystics, there's so many books out there you can read and see what other people have experienced. I love mystical experiences. They give you faith, lots and lots and lots of faith, because you prove. For instance, the very first time you get out of your body and feel the freedom of being out of the body, the very first time you get out and actually go out there and fly, because you can get out and just you fly, you levitate, you teleport, you do all these things that humans think are impossible. There are things I don't understand. People are addicted to social media, for instance. Do you know that the more time you spend behind a phone, the less time you get to practice our natural abilities like telepathy? We are so dependent on technology. Technology this, we don't need any technology. No. Nothing man-made. You are all imagination, which means that anything that can be imagined can be achieved. We come from a world where we have no limitations. Then we are on this level where the brain seems to have particular limitations. The brain convinces you that you have limitations. You don't have limitations, even on this level. You don't. You just need to reprogram your mind, reprogram yourself. Okay? Anybody who says, I can't do this, I can't do that, you can't have this, you can't have a specific person, you can't have wealth. There are so many people who have all those things that you currently want. That makes you worthy as well, because they are no different than you. See what I mean? Oh, next question. Jana L, hey John. Seth Havel, fantastic. Thank you, Seth. Riri, I love the color coordination. Thank you. Barbara Loving, yes. Monique M, good to see you. Okay. I'm trying to scroll down. Connie Schmitz, I've been doing skin to skin every evening. If you could help me in any better way. Oh yeah, the skin to skin technique is just you enjoying the feeling of already being with your loved one. Everybody deserves love. The feeling of, I want to be with a particular person. Do you know how many men are on the planet? So many. And you have eyes for just one. You have, what, billions? Where does that feeling come from? That feeling comes from your true self. Your true self is saying, I want to experience this particular state. All human judgment must never be brought into this equation. And so, what you do, you know, I've been told, somebody asked me, but I want, if my specific partner sends me a text that I don't like and then I revise it, it feels as though he doesn't really like me, and so I'm now influencing. No, that's not how the universe works. You don't influence anyone outside of yourself. The mistake is that everybody is trying to manifest something outside of themselves. You don't manifest anything outside. There's nothing outside. Everything is happening inside. When you're manifesting a specific partner, for instance, you literally are accessing the self. Okay? It's like we experience being physical. If I close my eyes right now and visualize my fourth dimensional self, my astral body, inside, okay? That self then opens their eyes. Of course, if that self opens their eyes, I can be anywhere in eternity. So I'll still feel myself physical. Then I'll feel that second layer of myself within myself. Then that layer opens their eyes. Of course, when they open their eyes, you'll be seeing through the third eye. Okay? Where whatever that self observes exists on a timeline that I may not necessarily experience right now. You're literally, you are not, stop trying to feel like you're influencing. No, you are in a dream and you are in the center of that dream, and you want to experience a particular thing on the outside, seemingly on the outside. It will never be on the outside. So you access the self. You are not changing them, you are changing you. You access the self that already has the love, the money, the car. It doesn't really matter what you want on the outside. The feeling of having it on the inside, the feeling of celebrating that you already have it, the feeling of joy, the feeling of appreciating this thing, this person, put it all on the same level. That feeling is enough for you to access the self who feels this way, the self who has the things, the car, the money, the perfect health. That self is there, fourth dimensionally. Then you living in this mood for a long period of time. You don't impress for 5 seconds and then you're done. No. Try to say, okay, how have I felt? How did it feel to have the thing? I feel grateful. I feel peaceful. I feel relief. Sustain that mood to keep the gates open for that thing to flow towards you. Understand? This stuff is different. You're not manifesting something outside of you. That's why I have a problem with attraction. I have to use it in some of my titles because everybody thinks of law of attraction. You're not attracting anything. If anything, because you are imagination, and this is a screen of space, just like a cinema, you are projecting. It's the exact opposite of what has been mass marketed. You see what I mean? It's a projection onto a screen. That screen then becomes your specific person coming to you and kissing you. They come and kiss you and they hug you, and you think that they did it on their own. No! It's a dream, and there is no such thing as free will. You have access, you have free choice. You can choose to be in a particular state. You can choose a state. But when you get to the state animates itself. It has events, it has feelings, it has thoughts, already worked out in detail for you. LODC, a friend asked me to ask you to explain the impress technique. Can you explain it in detail? Okay. Impressing. If you guys are on the call, I want you to just do it practically, because then you really understand. Okay? Now, when you're impressing, you're planting a memory. You're planting a feeling in your heart. Now, if the feeling in your heart, let me check. Give me a second. Yeah. If the feeling in your heart is exactly a match to whatever you use to visualize that you have it, that thing will be outpictured onto the screen of space. That's the law. All things. The law is given to us in the very first chapter of Genesis. All things must bring forth after their kind. All things. There are no exceptions. That includes your imaginal acts. It includes your imaginal acts, your feelings. You plant a feeling, you reap a feeling. Everybody's creating their reality on the planet and they don't even realize it. They said, this one did, there's victimization. This one did something to me. She said that. She did this. Oh God, I'm freaking out. I should be running away. No. Everybody has been placed in your reality by you for you to give yourself a particular experience. Know that they're there. Understand that they're you. Everybody's you. So, see them. If somebody says something or does something, understand it's just a state. They fell into a state. It's probably a script that you wrote. You can change your feeling about anybody. Okay? When somebody does something bad to you, you'll probably feel hatred, maybe, towards them. Don't allow yourself to feel that stuff. Try to focus on feeling love, on feeling joy, acceptance. If I don't like this person, guess what? I'll get more of the same. This person will be under compulsion to do more stuff in my reality. More stuff that I'll dislike. You see what I mean? So what you do is, if let's say they said something like, I don't like you. Like, for example, ladies get offended sometimes if somebody says you're not as good, you're not very good looking. Okay. Okay. Did you know that you can transform yourself, become radiant in the eyes of everybody else? If consciousness is the only reality, then as you're moving around, you're out picturing in your energy, in your aura, how other people see you. People could see you as sexy, as very, very good looking, but it's an out picturing. The day you stop feeling good looking or attractive, you know what could happen? Everybody will start mirroring back to you that you're not. They'll say, you used to be A, B, C, D, but you're not anymore. What happened? We're doing these things to ourselves, and we have the power to change it. So, just to stay with that example, you basically meditate first. Okay? You meditate first, and then you put your attention on the heart. That's where feeling is. You drop from the mind to the heart. Just try it. When you get out of the mind, the thoughts, because you have all these thoughts that are being powered up by you, by your own energy, your own consciousness. When you drop to the heart and decide to feel, there is a paradigm anyway. There is a hierarchy in which everything works. Feeling is above thought, even though the head is above the heart, right? So you drop and decide to feel whatever you want to feel instead. Guess what happens to the thoughts? Your consciousness was powering them up. They're no longer powerful. Your heart, your feeling, the heart opens up as you meditate on a feeling of joy. Okay? So what you do is, on my YouTube channel, this channel, you'll find a speaking from technique. Okay? If somebody does something you don't like, what you do is you remember when they were still bad. Of course, nobody does anything wrong given their model of the world. Everybody thinks they're good people. Even a terrorist might think because of their cause, they're fighting for God, they are doing the right thing. Everybody has righteousness going on. No one will ever admit that, you know. So, you change how you feel about this person by remembering when they were still that way, implying that they are not. Okay? It's always about clarity of form. It's always about, oh, by the way, when you're doing this, most affirmations end up turning into physical conversations anyway. So you visualize that you're saying this to a friend in the perfect tone of voice. The tone is always remembering, it's reminiscing. Do you remember how Ian used to be? Wow, look at how much he's changed over the years. He used to be so annoying. I think he's changed. He's really changed. Tone of voice. You're remembering when that conversation, you're visualizing that you're talking to somebody, your friend, talking about somebody else, okay, who currently in physical reality seems to be bad in some form, seems to say hurtful things. Then you put them in a state. You think you're putting them in a state, but I've already explained that. You are changing your perspective of this person. You are changing how you feel about them. They will become the embodiment of what you used to think. Sorry, of what you've impressed. Now, to do the impress, you speak out loud. Okay? You speak out loud while your attention is at the heart until there is a feeling. Because the heart responds to your words. The words The words are just sounds, and sounds have frequencies, and the heart registers these frequencies as feelings. The words came after the feeling. The feelings were created before we, as humans, came up with utterances to describe them. The apple exists before I come up with the word apple in English, and it will remain an apple in every other language. It exists. So what you do is you affirm it until you get a feeling. Try to make that feeling stronger than whatever you used to feel. Like if it was a negative feeling and you felt it for, let's say, 3 hours, try to feel positive for about 4, maybe 5 hours. Try to get the energy to tip over. When you do that, you will shift something within you. You'll feel like your heart has just released something. It releases the old idea about this person. Now, when you shift into a positive mood, you then move into thought. When I move into thought, I literally become perfectly still, because we're told, be still and know that I am. Okay? So you move into your thought, then you get that one thought. Okay? It's one thought, like, wow, isn't it wonderful that Tom has manifested a brand new house? Okay? Tom could be a beggar on the street and he has nothing to eat and nothing, he could have no home, could be sleeping on the street, and you experience that he has a new home, a new job. And you convince yourself that they do. Alright? You don't need physical evidence. No, you need the feeling. Feeling is the boss. So every time you think of Tom, you impress yourself. You have this statement ready and you have these visuals ready. You impress yourself. It will take energy. It will take time. It will take faith. But what do you think faith is? Faith is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Okay? The feeling of this person already has whatever they want. That's faith. It's a feeling of joy and certainty. You loop the thought inwardly. When you're meditating, you loop the thought inwardly. Again, attention at the heart, until virtue goes out of you. That's how Neville puts it. For me, I find myself breathing like as though there is this energy just going out. Okay? It takes practice, but you'll be able to feel it. You'll feel as though there is this flow over the heart, and it's like a jolt. It's like a jolt of like a mild electrocution. Okay? Every time you do that, the feeling will be stronger than whatever thought you had in the past, and this new feeling will obliterate the thought and whatever energy it had. If you're consistent, you'll get whatever you want. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay? Just put everything on the same level and stop calling your manifestations big. Remember, your true self is the one manifesting. Your true self is not this. It's not the program. It's not the brain. No. Your true self is the creator. The Bible is very clear. You are the temple of the living God. Okay? And it should have been obvious, because everybody said, everybody tells you, God, wait, when you ask someone, where does God live? They say, God lives in heaven. Then Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay. If the kingdom of heaven is within me and God lives in heaven, where does God live? In me. Ah. Okay. So everything I experience, God experiences? Okay. So if I want God to give me something, I don't supplicate? No. Mark 11:22. Mark chapter 11, verse 22. Whatsoever you desire, when you pray, believe you have received it, and you will. Whatsoever. It doesn't even mean, you don't even have to be a good person. You don't have to be nice. You feel you already have it, you'll get it. So I do constant for my client of being negative. and your energy will be so fantastic, and people will be able to feel it. People will say there's something different, something changed. You look like you're glowing. You are in a completely different space because you're positive. You're seeing everybody from a positive state of being. Alright? It takes practice, and you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect at any of this. Everybody, go easy on yourself, okay? People are so hard on themselves. I've been trying to manifest this. It's not you manifesting. It's the creator within you, and that creator just wants to experience. That creator is I am, which is a conjugation. It's a first person present tense conjugation of the verb to be, and beingness is feeling. The creator is feeling everything. Feeling. You want the creator to give you anything you want on earth? Feel. The creator is within you. Just feel that you have it, and the creator will feel like he, she has it, and bang. Your positive aura. Yay. Excellent. If I get time, I'll address each and every one of those questions in a separate video, maybe midweek or maybe even next time. Meta Happy, I'm trying to break bad habits like late night eating and too many processed foods. In general, it's been a major battle for me. How can I use imagination to help me overcome this? You get everybody in your family, everybody who knows you in that state, to see you at the exact weight you want, to see you very, very, because of course, if you don't want to eat too much or something, you're trying to lose weight or something like that. So get them to mirror back to you saying, wow, you look amazing. Wow, you've lost weight. Whatever you'd want to experience internally, get yourself to feel like you've already achieved them. You just visualize mother, brother, sister, cousin, friends. You impress them mirroring back to you because they're your mirror. They're out picturing from you. They tell you, oh my God, you used to eat A, B, C, D. You used to eat this and that and the other. Wow, you changed so much. If they are exclaiming, they're seeing a difference in your energy, then you must have shifted. You see what I mean? But you do it consistently until one day they will mirror it back to you. Yeah? The more energy work you do, the less physical work you might end up doing. Sometimes you'll activate a state and you might end up going to the gym. That's okay. Neville is very clear. All the means that are used to get you what you want are good. So sometimes you might end up going to the gym. You might end up, the habits will break because you activated a state where you remember when I used to have them, but it's so wonderful that I don't have these habits anymore. John, this is Jaina L. John, do we need to stop thinking about the desire at one stage so it can manifest? Yes. 7 days of creation, 6 days of creation, 1 day of Sabbath, when God rests. The God within you is creating your reality as you. The God within you has convinced himself, herself, itself that it is human, and so has human desires and wants this and that and the other. But when you create and you create and you create, you get to this point of conviction when you don't even feel like creating it. You just know it's done. When you let it go and you're not thinking about it at all for a period of time, you'll find it will pop out of the woodwork and you find yourself exactly where you want it to be. All right, there is that little period of, I've planted my seed, now let it grow. Heavyweights, do you have to be in meditation to revise? Nope. You do have to be in a good mood though. And anything can put you in a good mood. Just watch a comedy and you're laughing. You're laughing at tears of joy are pouring down your eyes. Use that moment to sneak in a quick revision. Why? Because excitement, that extreme joy, is the point of least resistance. You know what I mean? Meditate on it. You know exactly what I mean. Priya Sharma, is it necessary to imagine a scene with your specific person on a daily basis? Yes. Try to do it because try to feel. Don't make it feel like a chore that you're trying to get the specific person. No. Try to feel happy now that you have everything you've ever wanted. Why should it be a chore to feel happy? What if I wake up every single day and I say I'm going to do everything in my power to be happy today? What's wrong with that? Now, could imagining being with my specific person be one of those things that I need to do in order to be happy? Yes. I am happy now. I don't need the thing to come into my life first. Then, because people have this backwards. They say, if I get my specific partner, if I get my money, if I get my health, then I'll be happy. No. Be happy now and everything else will sort itself out. Deborah Chambers, John, I want to manifest to come study with you for a month. If your higher self, your true self, feels like I'm the perfect guide for you, the money will come out of nowhere. If you really, really want to work with me, if you want to study with me privately, Skype, it can happen. You can experience that we are exchanging emails which imply that, that you are one of my students. I have students that have permanent time slots in the week and that kind of thing. And yeah, you can manifest it. Just imagine your wish fulfilled and you should be able to do it. Ankita Sina, can you please explain revision step by step? I think I did. If not, I'll do a separate video on that. I'm still trying to find time to do other videos that are demonstrative, but it hasn't been easy because of the one-on-one sessions. I sometimes do 7, 8. Before I went to Dubai, I was doing about 10 every day, so you get really tired. How can I stay? True Elemental ASMR says, how can I stay in the wealth vibe if I don't have money to eat? If I don't have money to eat. Yeah. There's a story. I think Neville shared the story. Some lady didn't have the money, didn't have a meal, and she set the table anyway. She set the table anyway, put the plates on and everything, and she imagined that there was this meal. It was already there. She put it there on the empty plates. Okay? She probably used the sense of smell. There's something about the sense of smell when it comes to food. You can feel yourself dig a fork in and you can even feel the deliciousness of the food. The end state activates the means. Somebody will bring you the food, or somebody will buy you takeout, or somebody will give you the money to buy the food. That's how the universe works. You go to the end, experience already having the thing, and you experience already having the thing, and it will call forth whatever means. It's faith. Faith is loyalty to an unseen reality. Nobody else can see it, but you know that the energy you're putting there has to manifest because of who you really are. The first principle: be still and know that I am God. That's the first principle. Because you know that the Father is within you, within everything, within everyone, you know that if I feel within myself, the Father has felt it. The Creator has felt it. It's faith. It's trust. You trust the Creator within you. The Creator within you has brought you this far. You didn't know about the law of attraction then. he, she, it has brought you this far. Okay? So how about you trust that they know exactly what they're doing? Because they do. I've run out of time. If I've not answered your question, just put it in the comment section, and yeah, I should be able to get to it some other time. Okay, I'll answer maybe one or two more questions. Regina McNeish, is it possible to fly out there and study for a month? Well, yeah, I guess so. If we organize it well, or I could fly to wherever you are. It would be nice to do a bit more traveling this year. Thank you, John. Leave you, Escardi. Right back at you. Escardi, what's the most important affirmation? That's a good one. The most important affirmation could be, I am God. Because that's the truth. It's the only truth. The truth that sets you free is I and the Father are one. It's the most important affirmation. Everything else trickles down from there. Okay? So if you get comfortable with that experience that you are, because Neville is very clear, God is your wonderful human imagination. Keyed low. The intensity of your imagination is low until you are able to control your thoughts and your energies, and then you'll start feeling as though the intensity has been increased a little. Okay? It's an experience called, in the Bible it's called the rapture. It actually happens in your skull. People think the world will divide itself and in will come a flying Superman-like guy with a big book to judge you. Do not be lied to. Everything, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay? Everything happens from within. The activations within. The true self will reveal themselves to you personally, but only when you acknowledge who you truly are. Alright? I can share with you one mystical experience before I go. I found myself in this world that was disintegrating. Everything was disintegrating. There were these tornadoes and these hurricanes, and the houses were being spun in the air, and I'm freaking out. How did I get here? The world looks as solid as this. There were craters in the road. Like earthquakes would create these craters in the road, and sinkholes were swallowing up the cars, and people were losing their lives. I'm freaking out because I know I'm next. So what did I do? I turned to the first principle. Be still and know that I am God. So I became perfectly still and affirmed I am God. It seemed to be the only thing I could do at the time. You know what happened? Everything reversed itself. I'm standing on the street completely shocked. Everything reversed itself. The houses that had fallen stood still. The people that were dead stood up. The cars that were in craters were spat out, and they parked themselves on the streets. The holes sealed themselves. The tornadoes reversed themselves. And I'm standing there watching perfection. Everything is reversed, and everybody's walking on the street as though nothing happened. And then I find myself back into my physical body. But I learned from that. That's where I learned the rewinding technique. I realized that the only thing that created this perfection, because I was projecting it, but I didn't know that I was projecting it. I seem to be independent of my perception of what I'm seeing with the senses. That's the illusion you're living here on this planet. You're over here and everybody else is over there. The secret to manifestation is oneness. See everything as one energy, as one person, experiencing itself as multitudes of nations. All right? And when you affirm the truth of who you really are, other people, you don't affirm it to other people. You don't have to tell anybody else. They won't believe you anyway. They'll only believe you when you believe it. They'll start seeing you that way. Until then, you create a feeling within yourself to connect with the true self. By the way, you will notice that when you meditate and you pretty much clear all your thoughts, okay, if you're able to get to that space where you have no thoughts at all, for hours, you will find that you literally become your true self. When you get out of that meditation, after you've been in it for a while, the intuition will work, the thoughts that you will have will be clear, guided, focused. You'll find yourself, life will seem to work really, really well. You'll make choices that will lead to results and get you manifestations and stuff quickly. Everybody seems to be too busy, engrossed in the physical world itself. I get it. We have bills to pay. But as a spiritual person, try to balance 50-50. At least 50% spiritual, 50% material. Try to balance. If you don't balance one of them, because if you don't balance the material, you know how Jesus puts it, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Okay? The taxman will come knocking. The person who wants their rent will come knocking. You need to balance. Even if you're spiritual and you've discovered that, oh, I can manifest anything I want, there's still that balance that needs to be done. And when you do it, you'll be really happy on so many levels. Okay, Tina, squeaky chair. I know. I know. I don't know how to... I'll fix it next time. I'm sorry if it's irritating you. And should we visualize in first or third person view? First view. Through, basically, you see how you see yourself from this point of view? This is for Laura Franco. You see yourself like this, from above. Yeah? You see yourself from above. You see the arms and the hands, and exactly the way you see yourself in your normal physical experience. That's exactly how you should see yourself when you're visualizing. Okay? Don't change it. Keep it that way. And you should be able to get anything you want. Yeah, so there's so many questions, and I can't get to all of them. But next time I should... Escardi, love you, John. Right back at you. Love you, John. Essie, right back at you. Is it impress? And is impress enough to manifest anything? Yes. You can manifest anything as long as you activate the state. There could be a bridge of events. Okay, you might have to meet this one. You might have to speak to the other person. This is Essie. I'm answering for Essie. You might have to do stuff. You might end up going to places. You might attract teachers, like myself. I could just be part of some bridge of events, some state that you activated, and I'm trying. I've been placed in your reality to guide you to a certain level, and then when you get there, you'll find another teacher to take you to the next level. It's always like that. And so, yes, you activate the big state, but the state has contents, events, situations, feelings, thoughts, people. Everybody will be assembled to help you fulfill your goal. And with that, before I run out of breath, I think I'll bring this Q&A to an end for today. I really appreciate all of you. All of you have supported me over the years, and I am thankful that you joined me. If there's another live chat, it will still be same Sunday 9 p.m. next Sunday, I guess. If there is no live chat, if there is no live stream, I'll probably let you know during the week. I'll create a video about it, and yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you next time. I didn't answer all the questions. Put them in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, if I could type out the answer, or I could create a video explaining a bit more, maybe something longer. Because right now I can only do about an hour of live streaming before my battery dies. But I'll get a solution very soon. One more question. Kaya K, please make these videos more regularly, like once a week. I am making them once a week, so I'm doing my best. Thank you for your guidance, Ankita. Thank you for appreciating. One more question. How do you get my I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. How to get my ex back if she's already with a new boyfriend, and even she doesn't talk to me when we see daily at work? How also to avoid this reality and believe? Do you know there's a lady, I think 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, she loved her person so much, and yet things just seemed to go the other side. Okay, he seemed to become more and more distant. He then got married to someone else. He got married to someone else. When somebody gets married, you might think that your energy, that whatever you imagined, won't come to pass. Think again. Imagining creates reality. That feeling in your heart, as long as it is not obliterated by an equal but opposite stronger feeling. If it stays there, that energy will linger until one day you will find yourself with that person. It could be 1 year later. In her case, it was 1 year later, because he ended up getting a divorce or something. He was incompatible with the other person. You see, if you're a spiritual person and you're in love, if God is love, and you're a spiritual person who has evolved to this level, at this point in your evolution, you can't randomly fall in love. If God is love and you have gotten to that point where you are convinced, where you are at this point where you know you are one with Source, with God within, and this self has given you this very strong desire to love a specific person, and that person seems to be doing other things, hanging out with other people, that's a lie. It's an illusion. It's a test. Neville always tells us, test yourself to see that you're keeping to the faith. You disregard anything on the outside that seems to be the opposite of what you're creating, regardless of what it is. Okay? If this feeling of I love this person has been given to you, there's a reason for it. And that reason will manifest somehow. It could be 1 year later, it could be 6 months later, it could be 6 weeks later. It doesn't really matter. You trust that the being who gave you the feeling also has the means to fulfill it. With that, I'm going to bid you adieu. I wish you all lots of love, lots of blessings, lots of joy. Let everything you touch, let everything you choose to create joy for yourself and other people. Lots and lots of joy, relief, peace, positive energy. Okay? And may you be able to manifest anything you want, because you're worthy of it. Because we're told you're gods. Okay? Psalms 82:6. You are gods, all of you children of the Most High. All of you. If you're all children of the Most High, that means the Most High. Would you consider a child going to a father and saying, I'm hungry, I need bread. And the father, who loves this child, says, nah, I'll give you a stone. No. You get exactly what you create, what you feel you already have. That's a law. You follow that law regardless of the appearance on the outside. I've just told you that I was standing on the street and everything is disintegrating. If I had accepted that reality, I would probably have experienced dying, which that too is an illusion. You can't die because of your immortality. You are immortal. How can you be a child of the Most High and not be immortal? If that reality I found myself in wasn't real, the one you're currently experiencing that is hurting you so much is not real either. Okay? Lots of love, lots of blessings. Goodbye. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.